Hey guys, it's Josh with Cardboard Connoisseurs, here with my main man Carl, here to bring you top 4 of our Win-A-Box tournament. It could even be a boat, sponsored by Scrollrack and hosted by Game Night of Columbia, Tennessee. Proxy friendly, I'll have you know. First up, we have Kess with Pact of Negation, Sol Ring, Mystic Remora, Echo of Aeons, Badlands, and a volcanic island, bottoming a snow island. Then we have Inalla with Finale of Promise, Brainstorm, Pact of Negation, Mana Vault, Morphic Pool, and Watery Grave, bottoming a Brain Freeze. Then we have Krark Sakashima with the opening hand of Command Tower, Mountain, Force of Negation, Jeweled Lotus, Dockside, Steam Vents, and Varan, Voice of Duality. Pretty sure I got that right.
Yep.
Then we have, going last, our returning champion, Godo, with a Mana Crypt, Mox Diamond, Mountain, Buried Ruin, Argonium Armor, Jaxie's the Troublemaker, and Seething Song. Let's get into the action.
Let's see what they have here today. Volcanic Island starting off from Kess and Fish.
Gotta love that fish.
Yep, especially when you have an Inalla player and Inalla really can't just sit back and develop. They need to go for that turbo win as fast as they can. Oh, okay, but he says that we are maybe not going to do that. If if everyone else is off to a slow start, then maybe Inalla holds back a couple turns too. Let's see what we think.
This goes back to the politicking of it all, you know, because I mean, you don't have to feed the fish.
Yeah. Okay, they did it. They said no feeding fish. Let's see what he has. If he has some ramp himself, then maybe you start looking at feeding that fish. But if he doesn't, and he is just going to sit back, well, there he is as a Sol Ring. You're looking at a Kess next turn if you do nothing. But maybe you just play a couple islands, hold back a Mana Drain or something like that. Get yourself ahead that way. Yeah, this Kess player is on a mull to 6 here. If their Mystic Remora just whiffs, they are going to be at actually a pretty big disadvantage.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to take your choke points where you can. And if that means convincing your other opponents to help you out, then so be it. That's just what it is.
Mana Vault. He says, we got to be proactive here. We can't just sit back and let this Kess player stick a free Kess into play. Especially with a Sol Ring to keep that fish going if he chooses. That gives the Kess player a lot of options and gives you desperately few options. Right, so they are breaking their vow and they are going just to smash some cards into play now. Hey, there's Dockside. 1, 2, 3 mana Dockside. Not crazy. Not crazy. Pretty
Not
good.
bad for turn 2.
Yeah.
Not bad. Definitely enough mana to play a commander. I don't know about both of them.
Treasuring it up.
Godo glad to hand out some treasures.
2 red. Casting Krark. He only costs 2. And the Jeweled Lotus probably casting Sakashima.
Oh, there it goes. Both of them.
She is an imposter. It doesn't ETB. It does come into play as the copy of Krark the Thornless though.
So we see Thumbs postured up. Kess is getting postured up.
Yep.
And then Godo has a Mox Diamond.
Yep. Godo says, I'm Mana Crypt. He says, it's time to go, though. Mox Opal.
I see what you did there.
I did, yep.
And I don't appreciate it.
That's 6 mana. Let's see if he taps it all. He says 3 mana.
Seething Song.
Let's go up to 5 mana, 6 mana, 7 mana, 8.
All the blood is
on
flowing
the
right
board.
now.
8 mana on the board. What do we have here? And there is a Godo with 2 mountains untapped. is that just gonna be let go? No. Probably
Damn
not.
it. Again. Pun count 2. Mountain count 2.
Let's see. He says, if this resolves, I'm going to grab Hammer of Nazan.
Everybody discussing, seeing...
Yep, they say Godo is bad. We either need to remove this very quickly or we need to counter Godo. They say this hammer is going to come in, it's going to get an equip trigger, it's going to stick itself onto Godo, and then he's going to be off to the races, and that's probably bad. Gonna let it resolve, gonna go get the Godo Hammer of Nazan.
Yeah, the Godo player, the only person that got 1 win, but that was enough to get to top 4 due to breakers.
There we go.
Winning his round 2 against 3 opponents that had already won their round 1.
Fancy. Sometimes it comes down to tiebreakers in these 1-round cut tournaments, right?
Yeah.
Where we don't have a top 16, we have a top 4.
Very clean cut.
Very, very clean.
Very fair.
Excessively fair. More fair than any other matchmaking 4-player program on the market, I would say so.
I would say so as well.
Yes.
I think Jesus would agree.
Yeah, I think so too. He's not here this match, but he's still calling on us from our round 3 match.
We do have the God of the tree, so
yeah, that's true.
you know,
Yeah, why not?
we're spiritual.
Yeah.
He's still rocking this fish.
Mm-hmm.
He's
going. Yeah, he taps that soul ring. Says, "I'm gonna keep fish around. I have a Mox Diamond. I have a command tower. I have a preordain. Sure, why not?"
Kess is just hair flipping everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep, a lot of cards in his hand, I'm sure. After that Godo turn of 1, 2, 3, 4 spells cast. Did he cast a lotus spell? Maybe 5. Who knows? Not I.
Not I.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Who is to say? Yep. A bunch of bottoms on that preordain from the Kess player. Drawing a card off the top, random card. Let's see what he's got. Or maybe not. Maybe he won't show us. You gotta assume he has a lot of interaction. That's why he did not just try to windmill slam that Kess.
Ooh, a top for the play.
Yeah, just trying to get cards out of his hand. He drew a lot of cards that last turn cycle. Couldn't hurt to just dump some stuff on the battlefield. Mox Diamond gets 2 out of your hand. Top gets another 1 out of your hand. Preordain maybe lets you draw into something to get out of your hand.
Yeah, and they are content with feeding this fish, so
Yeah.
he's probably just going to keep it around and
Mhm.
draw a billion cards.
They say if we can't beat him on cards, maybe we can beat him on mana. He's got to deal with Godo, right? He's the next in priority order after Godo. You can't just let that priority pass and hope your opponent has something for it. Unless you talked about it beforehand, they say, hey, I'll bounce Godo. If you can't, but you got to assume that they're going to try to force that Kess player to deal with Godo after letting him draw so many cards last turn cycle.
And then who knows if, Krark Sakashima just starts comboing above everybody.
Krark Sakashima has both Krark and Sakashima on the battlefield. That is a recipe to cast, a single ritual and start going crazy.
If I'm the Inalla player, I'm very terrified of everything going on.
For sure. You don't want to be playing Inalla against a blue opponent who has drawn about 60 cards. You want to try to have them interact with Godo first, get some of those cards out of their hand, but you also have the issue of Godo can't just sit back and not do anything. Godo's got to keep going crazy on the board. It can't just sit there and try to attack you. I mean, it could, but probably not in a game where the Kess player has drawn 7 cards off of Mystic Remorta.
Yeah, and you can't really look at it like a boiling point because everybody's just about to pop anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody but you.
Yeah. Yeah, Inalla player does just pass the turn. Keeping up interaction. He is actually at a good point in the priority order. the Mystic Remora player is being forced to interact if he tries to combo off. Yep.
I mean, it's hard to make a good argument because he's drawn so many cards.
Snapping Godo.
Oh, wow.
With the... Makes sense. He's going to try to copy it, probably bounce his dockside. Yep. Okay, not great. Because that cancels it. Bounces everything. Super, super terrible.
Draws a card.
For you. Paying 2 mana for nothing.
Yeah. And what are these boys doing?
He says, I'm going to attack Inalla. You know what? Inalla's had it too good for too long.
Okay.
I'm sorry, he is actually
Kess.
attacking Kess.
Okay.
That makes sense,
Yeah, that makes more sense, yeah.
Yep, that has got to feel bad with the snap. You could have gone pretty close to infinite. Assuming the Kess player didn't interact with you, which they're probably going to, but you could probably talk him into letting you have a single dockside and keeping your snap, right? Which generates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana, right? Just be like, hey, you gotta wait.
Yeah, because if I'm Kess, I'm not trying to fire anything off. I want all the protection for me and my combo.
Right, especially when he's already targeting Godo with the first snap. He's like, hey, look, I'm going to get rid of Godo. We don't have to worry about Godo. That's Augmentum Armor. Going to auto-attach to Godo because the hammer is on there. Augmentum Armor, if you're not familiar with it, I believe it destroys a permanent when the creature attacks if it's equipped with Augmentum Armor, which is going to auto-equip through hammer. That's going to be pretty strong, assuming no one bounces Godo.
Yeah, that's... I'll start whittling somebody away.
Mm-hmm. There is Force Pitching Echo of Aeons. He says, I don't need a refuel. I have a Mystic Remora.
Jeez. Going
to take 10 off of the Vengeance Godo hit. Inalla says, I like that.
You love to see it.
Alright, Amphitheater in response to the fetch land says, might as well just fire this off in case you have a counter spell. Having 1 fewer mana for you to be able to counter this probably good.
And what do we get here? I guess we just get the win. I mean, assuming he has half a combo.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on Kess, you've drawn 10, 15 cards off this Mystic Remora. You can probably afford to get into a counterspell war here and try to go for the win.
Yeah, and you're only being threatened by 1 player.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially if you know that Godo is going after you. You know, next turn you know that you're 1 equipment away from being killed with commander damage. You probably don't want to sit around here and try to see if Godo can figure out how to kill you, because I'm sure that he can.
Yeah, because he's Godo'd with the sauce, busting it down sexual style.
Mm-hmm. That is how Godo do.
So we don't have a whole lot of life to work with, but I mean, we're in an amazing position.
Yeah, in terms of cards in hand, you know that there has been some interaction.
Oh yeah, we're going for it. We're done with the fish.
Fish to the bin.
We're done feeding, and it's time to jam.
Mm-hmm.
If you so choose to slam.
Exotic Orchard. 3
mana for the man.
5
Jace.
Yep.
Wielder of Mystery?
Yes. The
I win.
Yeah, the I win with mill 1
condition. Yeah.
There's Constellation.
Oh, what do you got?
Let's see it.
You fed the fish.
Alright. The old no one has a damn thing.
Do you regret your transgressions?
Naming Lavinia Azorius Renegade. Can't run that in his Kess deck.
Any Cephalid Coliseums? No. I love that tech.
Yeah, that's good tech.
It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do that with my Toxtrol deck. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, so I think Jace actually protects against that, because I think Jace has a static ability.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So it's not Thoughts Oracle.
Jeez.
Maybe you could bounce Jace in response. Psych Rifting on Jace. Red Blast? Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Inalla being just forced to be the interactor here.
Yep, he says, I have a rift. Does anyone have anything else that can help me get rid of this Jace? Negation.
Force. Okay, force the negation. Oh, top and response.
Flipping top.
Oh.
Yeah, he says, this is a static ability. I don't need to actually activate this to win.
And that is the last nail in the coffin.
They say, we did not know that is how Jace worked. We probably should have forced the console.
Or the Jace.
Yeah, the Godo player says, I am playing Godo. You win the game. He says, I ain't got shit.
Oh, man. That was vicious.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. I did not see that one coming.
Yep.
So basically, the same kind of Thassa's Oracle type line, but
a little bit more resilient due to having that win effect as a static ability instead of a triggered ability.
But just like we talked about, they had agreed not to feed fish, immediately broke it, being afraid of falling behind. But
right.
even if you fall behind, that player is not getting 20 cards in their hand.
Yeah, exactly. The Soul Ring, I think, influenced their decision a little bit. I don't know that it needed to influence your decision that much, but here we are.
Here we are all
He says Tainted Pact, and he says Force of Negation. Just a whole lot of stuff.
He has it all.
The Kess player says, I drew 20 cards off of Mystic Remora. Maybe you shouldn't have done that.
He dropped the fish, he did the hair flip, and got the victory because of it.
He needs to get the new Secret Lair Mystic Remora that has the literal hair flip art on it.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. And that wraps up our Win-A-Box tournament.
Yeah.
Kess will win a box of Modern Masters 2. All other players in the top 4 will get 12 packs of Modern Masters 2. Appreciate you being here. Please hit that like and subscribe. Again, this tournament was sponsored by Scrollrack and hosted by Game Night of Columbia, Tennessee. I'm Josh with Carl in the booth, Cardboard Connoisseurs. Appreciate you watching and supporting the content, and God bless you and good night.